is on your belly and one hand is on your chest. And this is a wonderful pose to notice your breath. So just make any adjustments. If you like, you can put blocks under your knees if this is uncomfortable for your legs. Or if this is super uncomfortable, just put your legs out long, but come into this position with one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, and just notice your breath. Notice the rise and fall. Are you breathing through your belly? Or are you breathing through your chest? Just notice it. It's kind of like we're starting class in Shavasana, which is good. Shimmy your shoulders down so they're flat on your mat. And now start to breathe in through your belly and then see if then you can inflate your chest and then breathe out either through your mouth or your nose. Just see if you can control your breath in that way. And reverse it as you exhale. Now close your lips and breathe in and out through your nose and start your Ujjayi breathing. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to breathe our inhales and our exhales with the same number of counts. So whatever that count is, 3, 4, 5, use Ujjayi breath, breathe in through your belly, then up into your chest and out through your nose with the same number of counts that you inhale. So count softly to yourself. And on your next breath, breathe in, hold at the top, sip in a little more air, breathe out, push it out, hold, push it out further, and then breathe in again. So breathe in, hold, sip, exhale, shove it out, hold, shove out a little bit more, and then breathe in again. So add that component. On your next exhale, roll over onto your side, come into a fetal position, cradle your head in your arm, and take a few rounds of breath here. And on your next exhale, slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart in prayer. Blink open your eyes. We're going to start practice with the sound of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Reach your hands up, look up, spark up, lift your torso up. Bring your torso up out of your hips as you firmly ground your sit bones into your mat. Place your left hand down beside your left hip. Right arm's reaching up. Look up at your right thumb. Now bring that arm over to the left, hinging at your waist. Your right tricep is right on your right ear. On your next inhale, bring that arm back up, look up. On your exhale, bring that right arm down. That hand is right along your right hip, and bring your left arm up, straight up. Look up at your thumb. Breathe in, and on your exhale, hinge over, bringing your left tricep along your left ear. Hinge and breathe. And on your next inhale, bring that arm up, look up, and bring that hand down to your mat. Bring your hands out in front of you on your mat and ease your hands forward, hinging at the waist, bringing your lower back towards your ankles as you breathe here. Plug your shoulders into your shoulder sockets so you're not rounding, but you're drawing your lower back forward. You can look down at the floor, breathe in, and on the exhale, see if you can dip a little bit lower. Push back so your sit bones are on the mat. So you want to have a firm seat on the mat, but you're hinging at your waist and your arms are out in front of you. Your shoulders are plugged. Breathe in again. And on the exhale, see if you can dip a little bit deeper. And one more time, breathe in. And go deeper. Good. On your inhale, come back up to a seated position. Stretch your hands out in front of you like you're stopping someone. Your fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to open and close our fingers 30 times to exercise our whole hand. Okay, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Bring your hands to your knees. Good job. Now place your fingers facing each other. The tops of your hands are on the floor. Plug your shoulders into their shoulder sockets so you're not rounding your back. We're going to stretch out our wrists because sometimes when we do down dog, you can really feel it in your wrist, and we want to give our wrists a little bit of a stretch. Now see if you can get your fingers facing your body. Again, trying to plug your shoulder sockets in, maybe stretching away. That's a big stretch. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now, the heels of your palms or your wrist are facing one another. Your fingers are facing the opposite direction. Breathe in and out. Now, bring your fingers together, reverse them. Stretch them out that way. You can bring your fingers and your arms up overhead. Stretch. Great. Bring your hands down to your knees. Maybe set an intention for your practice today. It could be the concept of, we aren't the healers of other people. We are only really trying to bring some room for ourselves to look honestly at ourselves. That's really, our job. Or maybe it is something else I've been thinking a lot about. Siddha and Sukha, which are terms, Sanskrit terms, which mean strength and ease, which in a yoga practice, as we go through this practice, think about strength and ease in every pose that you take, that there's a power to it, but you also want to be able to breathe and bring in ease. Let's exercise our neck a little bit. My neck is stiff, so dip your chin to your chest. Now look up at the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest, sit up tall. Look up at the ceiling, exhale. One more time. Chin to chest. Look up, inhale on that. One more, exhale, chin to chest. And one more time, up to ceiling. Now left ear to left shoulder, not shoulder to ear, ear to shoulder. Now right ear to right shoulder. Keep your shoulders plugged and dipped and lowered. Look up, left ear, left shoulder. Look up, right ear, right shoulder. That's the one that's stiff to me. Really feels it. Left ear, left shoulder. Now bring it all together. Chin to chest. Roll it around, left ear, left shoulder, back and look up. Exhale as you come around to right ear, right shoulder. Dip, come around again. Inhale as you go back. Exhale as you come around. Keep doing this. Really feel, if you're like me, I guess I'm right-handed, so I really feel this as I come around to my right side. There's a stiffness there. Breathe deeply. And now go in the reverse direction. Right ear, right shoulder, look up, come around, dip down, around, look up, come around and down. One more time. Around and down. Good job. Look up, come into tabletop position on your mat. Notice your alignment. Your shoulders are on top of your elbows on top of your wrists, your pointer fingers at 12 o'clock, your fingers are wide, spread them out wide. You're going to have a wide stance with your hands. Maybe your pinkies are approaching the edge of your mat. Look back, your knees are right underneath your hips and your shins are directly jutting out from your knees and your toes are long on your mat, going in true north in the opposite direction. Your back is straight. We're going to do some rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, look up, dip your belly, cow. Cat, arch your back, swivel your hips. Come up to cow again. Inhale, exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Really swivel your hips. Really giving your hips a wake-up call. Cow. Exhale, cat. Cow. Cat. One more time. Cow. Look up and into cat. Extend your right hand long in front of you, your left leg long behind you. Stamp the wall with your left foot. Your toes are pointing down and they're flexed. Breathe here. Strong. And now crunch in. Bring that elbow to the knee. Extend and breathe. Exhale and crunch. Extend and breathe. Exhale and crunch. One more time. Extend and breathe. Exhale and crunch in. Place your right hand down. Let's do the same thing on the left side. Extend your left hand long like you're shaking somebody's hand, and your right foot is stamping the wall behind you, flexing your toes down. Breathe here. Strong back. Breathe in. Exhale and crunch. Extend and breathe. Exhale and crunch. Extend and breathe. Exhale and crunch. Exhale and breathe. And bring that hand to your mat. Bring your hands a little closer to the front of your mat. Again, your hands are really strong. There's particular strength between your pointer finger and your thumb, that L. And we're going to come up into the first down dog of the day, but we're going to just raise our knees off the mat 2 inches. So tuck your toes, bring your knees off the mat, just 2 inches. Notice your alignment. Plug your shoulders into their into their shoulder sockets. Breathe here. Engage your abdominal muscles. Bring your belly button to your spine. Really feel that action. Breathe in and out. One more breath in. And out into downward facing dog. Your first down dog of the day, perhaps. So pedal out your feet. Really bend your knees as much as you need to get your lower back up to the ceiling. Pedal and breathe. Try rotating your triceps inward. And see if that brings some relief to, if you've got pressure on your wrist, also bring more grip into your fingertips, trying to get your whole hand really helping. Breathe. Point your toes to the left side of your mat and bend your knees a lot for a side body stretch. Come up onto your tippy toes. Now point them to the right and bend your knees a lot. Big side body stretch. Come back on your tippy toes and tippy toe to the top of the mat. Come up, just tippy toe. Now come up on your forefingers as you approach the top of your mat and stay here on your tippy toes. This is really good to give our toes a big stretch. See if you can lift halfway up on your tippy toes. So you bring your fingers off the mat, go into a half lift and bring it down. Doesn't matter if it's just 1 second, you can try it again. Lift up, half lift, and lower your heels down. Bring your toes off the mat. Spread them wide. Feel all four corners of your feet as you place your toes back down. Half lift. Hands can be on your shins or up on your thighs. It doesn't matter which. But you're making a straight back. The crown of your head is really pulling forward. Your shoulders are back, lower down, forward fold. Do that half lift again. Draw the crown of your head forward, engage your abdominals, lower down, forward fold. Breathe in, spark your fingers up to mountain, look up. Dive down, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows in Ragdoll. This is Ragdoll pose. Bend your knees as much as you need to try to get your lower back or sacrum up to the ceiling. And you can just rock gently. Allow your arms to rock. Allow the weight of your arms to draw the crown of your head a little closer to your mat. As you rock, you can shake your head yes, no, yes, just rock and rock. In Ragdoll, breathing in and out. Place your hands on the mat, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, mountain pose. Look up, spark up, dive down, forward fold, step back to high plank. Here we are in high plank. Notice your hands, your pointer finger is straight ahead. Your shoulders are right in their shoulder sockets. Your back is straight. You're not dipping your butt. Your butt isn't up towards the ceiling. It's straight. You're on your toes. Roll forward a little bit and only halfway down. Look at your elbows. Try to keep your elbows right over their wrists. So only go down that much. Now come into an upward facing dog. Your knees can be on the mat or they can be raised, but your chest is coming through. Look straight ahead, breathe here. And using your abdominals, roll back to downward facing dog. So try not to just heave yourself back, use your muscles to draw back. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. On your next inhale, come high on your toes. On your exhale, lower down, bend your knees, take a big step forward or jump to the top of your mat, half lift, forward fold, mountain pose, spark up. Lower down, forward fold, half lift, and step back to that high plank position again. We'll only stay here a moment. Roll forward so you're right on the top of your toes. Lower down only as much as your elbows are right over your wrists. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog, and breathe. Step your right foot forward for warrior one. Come up slowly, get yourself all lined up. So look at your alignment, your knees over your ankle, your front toes are pointing straight ahead. Your back foot, the blade edge is going really strongly in your mat. That back leg is strong. My foot is about at a 45-degree angle on the back foot, on the left foot. Put your hands on your hips and notice your hip bones. You want to try to rotate them so that they are pointing towards the front of your room. You can do that by bringing your right hip back and your left hip forward, but you still want to have that bend in your right leg. So make that adjustment. Your pelvis is neutral, so your booty isn't popped. So there's a lot going on in getting this alignment. Come up into cactus arms. Start here. Your shoulders are right over your hip bones. And now come up into full warrior one, wrapping your triceps around your ears. So this is proper alignment for warrior one. And of course, warriors are very active and strong poses. So you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Now come into a warrior two. So for me, I rotate my back foot around so it's a little bit more at a 90-degree angle, but everybody's a little different. But I'm still sinking in that front knee. Now this time, my hips are facing the left side of my room. So that's you go back into warrior one, see where your hips go, and now flip into warrior two. Your arms are stretching out long, going in opposite directions. You look over, you gaze over your front forefinger. Breathe in and out. Reverse your warrior. Right hand goes up to the ceiling, left hand goes down your left leg. Look up at your fingers. And side angle. Place your right forearm on your right thigh really lightly. My right palm is facing the ceiling. My left arm is going straight up. Look up at that thumb. This is side angle. Extended side angle. Draw that left arm over. So now it's facing, my hand is aiming for the wall in front of me. Left tricep on left ear. Breathe here. A more intense version of this pose is where you bring that right arm out from your thigh, and it's like you're holding a beach ball with your hands. So that right arm is now extending out towards the wall in front of us. Breathe here. Good, come back up. Bring your toes so that they are facing one another. We're going into wide leg forward fold. So I'm kind of pigeon-toed on my mat. Your legs can be super wide or they can be closer together. It doesn't really matter. The wider they are as we hinge forward, so bring your arms up, bring them down halfway, and now bring your hands to the mat right underneath your shoulders. So if your legs are really wide, some people can actually get the crown of their head on the mat, and for really adventuresome people, they can go into a headstand. So the wider your feet are, the closer your your crown of your head's going to be getting to the mat. Breathe here. There's a lot of arm variations. Come up to a standing position. So an arm variation is clasping your hands behind your back and bending forward, and then those arms, your hands come up overhead. That's one variation. You can place your hands on the mat with your fingers facing the opposite side. So my fingers are facing the right side of my mat. So there's lots of different things you can do. Also, you can bend your right knee and keep your left knee straight, and then flex your left toes so they're pointing to the ceiling. I don't know what this is called, but it's a big inner thigh stretch. You can do the same thing on the other side. Do you see what I'm doing? And I'm up on my left toes, but you can go down onto your left foot and bring your hands to your heart in prayer. For some people, this feels really good. Come back up. Come halfway up, half lift. Dive down again. And come all the way up. So now we're going to do that same sequence on the other side. So we're going to come into a warrior one. So now you're bending your left knee. Your right knee is strong behind you. Blade edge is digging into the mat. Put your hands on hip. Try to swing your hips so that your hip joints are facing the front of the room, which for me is now the back of the room. Breathe in. Get your shoulders lined up over your hips. Bring your hands up to cactus. Breathe here, sink. Now bring your triceps wrap around your ears for full warrior one. Breathe and sink. Breathe and sink. Breathe and sink. Now go into warrior two, making any adjustment with your back foot that you need. Gaze over your front forefinger, strong. Your arms are really strong. Going in opposite directions and sink. Breathe and sink. Reverse your warrior. Left hand goes up, right hand goes down, your right leg, look up at your hand, and now side angle. Place your left arm lightly on your left thigh and bring your right hand up overhead. Look at your right thumb. Stack your shoulders and slowly draw that tricep close to your right ear for extended side angle. Big side body stretch. I can also feel this in my psoas. That's the muscle that goes from your back, wraps around your hip, and connects to the top of your femur. Breathe in and out. If you want, you can raise your left arm up like you're holding a big beach ball. This is a more intense move, so don't do it if it feels bad. And now come back up to a standing position. This time, point your toes so they're facing the corners of your mat. So we're going to come into goddess pose. Now, it's really easy for your knees to cave in. We don't want that. We don't want your knees caving in. Wait a second, I've got to make a little adjustment here. We want our knees to be right over our ankles. So do any adjustment with your feet that you need to make that happen. And use your hands. So get your hands on the inside of your knees and really push them out. Here we are. Pelvis is neutral. Arms are in cactus. And we come, these slow movements really use our muscles. Come up a little bit and then sink lower. Inhale up. Exhale, sink lower. Try not to collapse. I need to move my toes out a little bit further. Breathe in and sink lower. Arms are in cactus. Sit up tall, straight back. And come up and stand. Good. Take a drink if you need one. I do. And come right into eagle pose. So eagle is a double bind. So we start with a chair leg. Actually, come into chair. Let's start in chair. So here we are. We're looking down. You can actually bring your toes up off the mat and then lower them down. It really gets you to feel all four corners of your feet. This might be better if I go like this. I can see my toes, so I want to be sinking my hips back, see my toes, and bring your triceps so they're wrapped around your ears. There's a lot going on in this pose, but that is chair. Come up to stand. So that chair leg is how we start when we go into eagle. So you wrap your right leg, find a drishti point ahead of you. So get that point that's not moving that you can gaze at. Wrap your right leg around your left. So your toes can be outside of your left shin, or if you can, wrap your toes around your left shin. Either way. If they're on the outside, flex them. Now add the arms. Wrap your right arm under your left. Bring your elbows up to shoulder height and breathe. And gaze. Straight back. Shoulders are spread. Sink. And come out of this. Stand, look up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come into that chair leg and wrap your legs. Maybe you can get these toes around. This side's a little harder for me. And wrap your left arm under your right and sink and breathe. and come up out of it. Good. Look up, mountain pose. We're gonna raise our right leg. So bring your right leg out in front of you, flex your toes. Your arms can be along your side, palms can be facing the wall in front of you. Breathe here. And move into airplane. So without bending your leg, swing it back into airplane slowly, like you're going through molasses. A little up dog in your chest. Pinkies are drawing towards one another. Bring that leg up a little higher behind you. Breathe. Bring a bend into your standing leg. Breathe. And step your right foot down. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Raise your left leg up. Flex your toes. Palms can face the wall in front of you. This open palm is just a way of receiving. Bring some bend into your standing leg. And now, without bending that leg, just swing it back slowly into airplane. Slow, strength and ease. And bring that foot to meet your right on your mat. Just because I love half moon, let's do half moon. So bring a block. If you've got a block or a water bottle, bring it alongside your right foot. Place it right underneath your shoulder. So it's not out there, it's not back there. It's right, and it can be right underneath that shoulder. So your right foot is strong. It's at true north. Your toe is pointing straight ahead. You bring some bend into that standing leg and slowly just lift your left leg up. Draw your left arm up to the ceiling. Try to stack your shoulders and now try to stack your hips. So your left toes are flexed and pointing to the left wall. So we're stacking here. Breathe. If you want to challenge yourself, try to lift your hand off of the block for a moment and then place it back down. If your hand's on the floor, that's cool too. You can see if you can lift it off the floor. If you come out of it, just come back into it. And bring your left leg down to meet your right. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, this is a pose, I think I probably said this before. If you're one of those people who are super flexible, like you find when you sit cross-legged, your knees go right to the mat, you're super flexible. This is a hard pose. This is easy for people like me who have more of a rigid frame. So this is a hard pose for you. There's nothing wrong. It's just your anatomy is different than mine. So now you're going to place your block or water bottle outside of your left foot. If you don't have either, you can just put your hand on the mat and slowly just come up with breath. Bring your right foot up, and we're going to try to stack our shoulders on top of one another and our hips by opening, flexing our toes, our right toes to the side wall. Breathe. If you want to challenge yourself, see if you can lift your hand off the mat or floor for a moment, or maybe longer, and bring your foot to the mat. Good job. And one more balance. Let's come into whatever version of tree is what you like to do. It can be kickstand. It can be foot on shin or right up into your thigh with your right foot pressing hard against your left thigh. Your hands can be in prayer, reverse namaste, or up overhead, whatever suits you, gaze and breath. Draw that knee over to the right. Open up. And place your right foot on the mat. Tree on the left. You can place your foot on the mat. Let's meet together in a seated position and come right into your version of boat, whatever that is for you. Bring your feet up, high boat. Be right on your sacrum, so you don't want to be on your back and you don't want to be too far up on your butt. Just right there, lower down to low boat. Look at your toes. High boat. Low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Flutter kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down all the way. Bring your knees up so they're right over your hips. And we're going to go into bicycle. So bring your hands behind your head. Elbows are wide and long, pointing to either side of the room. We want to bring our shoulder to our knee, not our knee to our shoulder. And when we do that, we extend the opposite leg, okay? So I'm going to let you count. We're going to do 10 sets. That means 10 on each side. You do it in your own time, but I really recommend going slow and really using your abdominals to start. Breathe. I'm on my last one. Good. When you're done, bring your feet to the mat. For that lovely release. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll up into a little ball. And now rock and roll into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Kick your right foot up. Stamp the wall behind you with that foot. We're going to come into half pigeon. So bring that right knee behind your right wrist and start to scoot your left leg back. If this is difficult or hard, do figure 4 on your back. So if you're feeling any discomfort in your knee on this, don't do it. Just go onto your back. But if you're going into pigeon, I want you to flex those right toes. That is one way of protecting your knee. And my knee is bent a lot. It is not even close to being parallel with the top of my mat. But I'm scooching my left leg back and I'm lowering down on my forearms. Stay here or lower down all the way. Forehead on mat. Your left toes can be tucked or flat, doesn't matter. And breathe. And remember the intention you set. And slowly make your way back up. Come up onto your hands. Come in and kick that right leg back. Do any counter stretch that you need. Maybe you kick it back, maybe you bend your knee and fan open your hip. If that feels good, bring that foot down to the mat. Let's do the same thing on the left side. Kick that left foot back, stamp the wall, and bring that knee right behind your left wrist and scoot your right leg back, straight back. That leg is super straight. Come onto your forearms, stay here, or lower down completely. Or if you're in figure 4, just switch legs. And if you're in figure 4, press your knee away with your elbow and draw your thigh closer to your body with your hands. And slowly come out of this, make your way up onto your hands. This time, just swing your right leg around so it's long in front of you. So here we are. Bring your left foot to the outside of your right knee. We're coming into Lord of the Fishes. So here we are. We've got a bent left knee and our left foot is right outside our right knee and our right leg is long. Sit up tall, the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Now take your right elbow and place it on the outside of your left knee and place your left hand behind your left hip. And slowly begin to breathe and twist until you're looking at the back wall. So breathe in. Expand, exhale, twist deeper. And slowly come out of this. Now extend your left leg long and do the same thing on the other side. Bring your right foot so it's on the inside or outside of your left knee and bring your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Place your right hand behind your right hip. My fingers are open and my fingertips are pointing to the ceiling. Breathe here, sit up tall, and start to twist. So you're going to start to look over your right shoulder, drawing your head around. Inhale, extend, exhale, twist deeper. then slowly come out of this. We're gonna do a little bit of back bend. So I want you to come onto your back. You can bring a block with you for supported bridge, which goes right underneath your sacrum. Or just come into bridge, or if you just need to rest, go back into Supta Konasana. We'll just do a couple of these. So get yourself lined up if you're gonna come into bridge. Graze your heels with your fingers. Your arms are flat and strong on the mat. Your toes are at 12 o'clock. Your feet are strong. And with your feet, legs, and arms, raise your hips up. Now you're coming up onto your shoulders. Breathe here. In and out. See if you can go a little higher using your feet. Draw your thighs towards one another, but they're not touching. And lower down. We'll do one more. Breathe in and out. Come up again. Pop right up. Breathe in and out. One more breath in and out, and lower down. Take your block and place it underneath your hips and come up into waterfall, or you can do shoulder stand, whichever works for you. Just come up, get your legs up over your head and heart for this rejuvenation pose, which brings the flow of blood back into your major organs. Breathe in and out. Flex your toes. Think of some things that bring you joy. Wish someone well. Wish the world well. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Lower down. Remove the block if it's there. And draw your right knee into your chest. And now with your hands, draw it over to the left side for supine twist. Extend your right arm long and look at your right thumb. Breathe. And come out of it, bring that knee into your chest again and switch. So now bring your left knee into your chest and draw it over to the right side of your body, stacking your hips, and look out over your extended left arm. Come back to center. Draw both of your knees into your chest. Hug them into your body. Scrunch up into the tightest little ball. Scrunch everything. And now expand out into Shavasana. Take up as much space as you can. Flop your feet out. Extend your arms. Open your palms to the ceiling. And take a well-deserved rest for a job well done. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes and roll onto your side, cradling your head with your arm in a fetal position like you did at the beginning of our practice. Take a few breaths here. And make your way with your eyes closed to a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall. Bring your hands to heart and prayer. We'll end practice with the way we began, with the sound of one O. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead and look up. The light in me honors the light in you. We bow together and say, Namaste, Namaste. Do you have any questions, maybe about a pose or